We have lots to cover today, starting with a quick garden update. Then I'll show you what arrived in the mail. So many great items, mostly for the fur babies. Then we'll head out to an estate sale in Orange, Connecticut, and I'll show you what I picked up. Towards the end of the video, I'll give you some life updates, and of course, our furry friends will pop by to say hello. Enjoy! I planted my dahlias a little late in the season, so I wasn't sure if they would come up, but as you can see, I'm starting to get some beautiful blooms. There's lots of buds coming up as well, so there should be more. And here's another beautiful one. I love the variegated colors on this. And for those of you who've been wondering, the clematis that I planted this spring has done really well here on the trellis. I'm getting lots of these beautiful purple blooms, as you can see. So I think this has worked out really well, and it's given such a nice sense of color to this otherwise pretty green space. I want to take a minute and thank Temu for this collaboration. They reached out to me a few weeks ago, and I did what I always do when a company reaches out to me. And that is, I go straight to their website to see exactly what they have. And in this case, my fingers were crossed that they would have something I needed very badly. In fact, I needed 2 of them. And wouldn't you know, Temu had exactly what I had in mind. And that is a new cat carrier for Indy in this great blue color and a pink one for Iris. And just to confuse you, I have placed Indy in Iris's cat carrier so you could see what it's like. So I'm gonna let him out now because that's just mean, right? Come on out, sweetheart. Hey, buddy. You want to come out? Thank you for being a good sport. Now, he doesn't mind it too much. So I needed 2 new cat carriers because the one I was using for Indy was really too small, and the one I was using for Iris was really too big. And as a result, neither of them were very comfortable when we took our incredibly frequent vet visits. And because the carrier cases were sort of hard plastic, they were extra heavy and really hard for me to maneuver. So I thought new cat carriers would be awesome. And I really like how these provide some ventilation for the cats, and they can see out a little bit better. And what I didn't even realize these carriers offer is this nice soft insert. So they have it up, they have a nice soft place to lay while they're in the car ride, awaiting the vet. He's got some schmutz. All right, he's got some schmutz. So this is perfect. I haven't put the center strap on this one yet. That comes separately. But it even has, like, if I wanted to come with my purse, I could throw my credit card and my phone right in this pocket. I can access the cat in multiple ways. I can open up this vent. I mean, this is really what I had in mind, but if I'm honest, this is even a little bit nicer than what I had in mind. But actually, they had a lot of really good ones, so picking out my favorite wasn't even easy because there were a lot of contenders. That said, I'm super happy with my choice. Let's look at the other one for a second. This one has its strap because I already put that on. And so what's nice about this is I can take some of the weight on my shoulders, and then I can also sort of carry it with my hands and do both. I have a terrible, very cranky back, so this is going to be so helpful for me. When I'm carrying both cats, it's quite a lot of weight, especially Miss Iris. So these are going to be a huge improvement. And the timing is perfect because I'm taking her to the vet in just a couple of days. I have a few more things to show you, but I wanted to take a moment to let you know about a great offer. If you want to check Temu out for yourself, the best way to do it is to download the Temu app. New users can get a $100 coupon bundle by searching my code DYR 5756 in the Temu search bar. You can claim it once you use my code, and it's valid for 24 hours from the time you claim it. You can also access this QR code directly. I also picked up this little scratching pad or scratching little bed. So the idea is that the cats can sit inside here if they want, and they can just scratch this thing to smithereens. It's like a nice cardboardy feel. And when I've picked up things like this before, the cats have really enjoyed it. So I wonder if Indy will check it out for us right now. Let's see what he thinks. No scratching yet, but he definitely seems to like the smell. Yeah, I would say whether he scratches it or not, this is definitely a hit. What do you think? So the next thing I bought is making me a little sad, I'm not gonna lie, because it was meant for Wilson, who's no longer with us, but this is still gonna be really, really good to have, and I'm gonna show you why. So I bought this kind of rolled up rug pad, and you can cut this. This is like kind of like a runner, but you can cut it to the different lengths that you need so it fits your space perfectly. And what I had, that's Indy. Indy's scratching the heck out of that bed. So what I was planning to use this for was to replace all of the dingy gray mats we had around the house with this nice lighter color because it matches the wood floor a lot nicer, and I thought they would kind of disappear. Now, Wilson is no longer with us, and Licorice doesn't require this kind of traction to be stable. So what I am gonna do is actually save this, because if she does get to a point where she's slipping and sliding and needs more support, this will be perfect. And let me show you what I mean by matching the floors a little bit better. Hold on. So you can see how nicely this would match the floor. It just doesn't call as much attention. And this one's really nice as well because, again, I could make it the exact right lengths that I needed. Wilson needed these all over the house, and I really kind of regret I hadn't seen these or thought of these earlier because they would have been absolutely perfect. But again, I'm really happy to have this, and I'm going to keep it safe for the day when I may need it. I'm a little bit late to the party with this next thing as well, but it's okay because I'll be ready for the next year. And that is some kind of patriotic red, white, and blue bunting. So each package comes with 4. So here's what it looks like wrapped up, nice and compact. And then when you open up the package, there are 4 of these. So I want to use this for Memorial Day and 4th of July and summer in particular, especially July. I want to place these on our front fence, and I think it's going to look really beautiful, especially because we have a colonial house, and I think old houses look really especially nice with this kind of bunting. I've placed 1 package of bunting here on the fence so you get the idea, but actually I need both packages of bunting to cover the entire fence. I really like the way this looks. This would look really pretty on my father-in-law's covered porch as well, and it would also look really nice across the dog run, so there may be some future purchases happening here. But I think it looks really nice. It makes me feel like a parade is going to pass us by any moment, if only. The last thing I have to show you is this fabulous trunk organizer. So this is going to be so incredibly helpful to me. You can adjust the lid. There's Velcro, so you can put this exactly where you want it, or if you don't want it at all, you can keep the lid off. There we go. I might even keep the lid off. I'm not sure. And there's nice pockets in here. So this is going to be fantastic in my trunk. I have a trunk organizer currently, and it's honestly too small because I always have tons of bags and tissue paper and things in my car in case I'm thrifting or going to estate sales or whatever, and I need some like protection for fragile items. And it gets really messy and disgusting. In fact, you deserve a good before and after shot, and I am slightly embarrassed to show you the state of my trunk right now. The good news is this is going to make a huge difference. Oh boy. Yep, that's where we are right now. And you can see that the trunk organizer I have is a tiny fraction of the size of the new one. So I am about to have a serious upgrade here. Okay, this is a huge improvement and I cannot even tell you how happy I am. So first of all, I want to just point out, I put like the car scraper and my big umbrella and like a little portable shovel and stuff way in the back because I don't really need to access those on a regular basis. In here is all of my packaging, like tissue paper and newspaper and packing bubbles and all that kind of stuff for when I need to pack up fragile items. And then in this big bin are all kinds of bags. And these are bags that I use for shopping, when I go grocery shopping, like the Stu Leonard bag, or bags I grab when I'm thrifting or at a flea market. Everything is right here. And I wasn't originally sure if I was going to use the tops, but I love how they hide the mess and keep everything from kind of falling out. So this is so nice. And then I still have all of these little pockets if I need them in this little zippered up area. Underneath here, I put the original mats to my car. I have upgraded mats that I bought with the car. So I don't really need those, but I would rather they stay with the car. So this is awesome. I love this. And then if I really want to make it even more sort of hidden and neat, I can fold this flap down and now nobody can see what I have in here, which is just nice for extra security. So you can see, you see nothing through my rear view window, and I think that's a good thing. Again, don't forget that Temu app new users can get a $100 coupon bundle to save even more. Just search my special promo code DYR5756 in the Temu search bar. Thanks again, Temu, for sponsoring this segment of the video and for my fabulous new finds. I know they're going to get so much use here at Worthington Home. Some interesting things on this table, like this vase made in Japan, and this is a little whiskey pitcher, and I see a cigar ashtray. This brass tray is nice. I like the handles on it. Here's a look at the room. This looks like a very pretty sunroom or maybe a breakfast room. I'm not sure what they used it for. But inside this box, there are quite a few bird ornaments. They're so cute. This guy is missing his little hanger, but that's easily corrected. There's lots of candlesticks here as well, as you can see. And inside these boxes are even more birds. They are so cute, and somebody took a lot of time and care to collect these. So I hope they all find good new homes. Here's a big stash of textiles. Seeing some interesting little placemats, but not like whole sets of placemats. This is a cute one, but just a singleton. That would be so cute for Valentine's Day. This is a really pretty room, and there's such a nice view out these windows. We've got some CDs over here in the corner. I'm not in the market for any CDs right now. And just around the corner, there are stacks of records. I do sometimes pick up records. They're $3 each. Let's see what they have going on in these bins. Cootie and Rex, never heard of them. Oh my gosh, Sean Cassidy. Oh, my childhood crush. This brings me right back. Oh boy, there's even more Sean Cassidy. West Side Story, An Evening with Tom Lehrer, the Bob Newhart Show music, Dr. Zhivago, the Kingston Trio. This is funny. I'm admiring this pretty little tile table. I'm not going to pay $35 for it, but I think it's cute. And this is a really nice piece of wall art. Let's check out the kitchen. Obviously, we've got pots and pans and the usual kitchen-esque kinds of things. When I'm in a kitchen, I'm often looking for unique servingware. Pyrex if it has the lid, of course china, glassware that's really beautiful. This is a really sweet plate. There is a pair of these. These were made by Williamsburg, Andrea by Sadek. Very pretty. This is a really nice copper-toned trivet with the irises on it, and I would pick it up if it were in better shape. Oh, this little cat tray is so cute. It's got like a tinny kind of feeling. Some scratches and things on it, but it's sweet. I like this teapot with the bird. There's no back stamp on this, but I think the little lid cover is adorable. This is kind of a pretty vase with the birds. They want $20 for this. Little tray here. Melrose. Little creamer. This is Noritake. Nice pepper and salt mill. I wonder what this was for. That's so funny. And there's some things in the cabinets, but I'm overall getting the feeling that this space has been tremendously picked over. So not a lot here for me today. There are so many crafting books here on the other side of the kitchen. Lots of quilting books and some other items as well. These lamps are absolutely stunning. I love them. They're $3.50 each. So I'm not going to pick any up, but they are really beautiful. Look at the next one. It's like sitting by a lake, and there's a nice windmill on this one. This might be my favorite, but I really like this wintry scene as well. Like I said, they're all $3.50, a little more than I want to pay, but it's nice to see them. My grandmother would have loved this light switch plate. It makes me think of her. There are so many books in this house, and as I mentioned before, most of them are crafting themed, although there's some others mixed in, so I definitely want to make sure I'm going through them and don't miss anything good. More books, and as we take a step down, there's this really big fireplace. This is such an interesting clock. It tells you when to plant your burpee seeds. I think that's really interesting. I've never seen one quite like this. They want $35 for this one. We'll go down into the garage space. There's usually not too much here for me, but I'll take a quick look. This is really interesting artwork, and I think this is an original woodblock print. They're asking $200 for it, so I'm not going to pick it up, but it is interesting. We'll continue to make our way through this house. Let's head upstairs. Here's a room that was used, I guess, as like an office space. There's lots of books and some barrister bookcases. They don't look especially old to me. Whoever lived here was an avid reader, or maybe there were a few avid readers because the topics vary quite a bit. There's some office furniture. And I see some crafting supplies. This room has been thoroughly searched for gems. And so I'm not really seeing much for me still, but I'm not giving up because you never know. Let's head to another room. Go right down the hall. Kind of a pretty runner, isn't it? This looks like it was maybe a bedroom that also had bookcases in it because, again, the people that lived here spent a lot of time at Barnes & Noble. This is beautiful wall art. It's like a textile. The colors are so interesting. Let's see. This is $75. It's a woven wall hanging. I thought I would show you some more of the books that I'm looking at in case you are curious to see them. I'm seeing some needlework and embroidery, lace making, and some gardening. This is a pretty lamp. I like the blue and white color tone. The shade is in bad shape. $30 for this. I don't know. Is it just me or are the prices here maybe a little high? There's some furniture in this room. Here's another bedroom. Twin beds in here. I wonder if grandchildren used to stay in this room. I bet they did. Just checking out this bedding to make sure there's nothing that looks really handmade or beautiful. This one has some condition issues. Nice little throw pillow there. And a closet full of clothes. This basement doesn't have a basement-y smell, which is always a good sign. I'm sometimes hesitant to pick up anything that smells too musty. You can never be sure that that smell is gonna come out, especially like in books. But that's not the case here. Let's head back upstairs. I think we're about done here. It was so much fun to walk through that house, and I did pick up a few things. As always, I'll show you what I got when we get home. I hope you enjoyed checking out the estate sale with me. It was so crowded. I couldn't believe how many cars there were up and down the street. I was there late, and even as I was leaving, more and more cars were coming. So I have a feeling they did very well at this particular estate sale. I hope they did. I have to say, it wasn't really so much my cup of tea. There weren't a lot of like antiques there, but if I had been a crafter, I would have been in my sweet spot. In fact, I contacted someone who's a viewer of this channel who I know loves quilting, just to let her know, hey, if you're in the market for any quilting books or crafting books or quilting fabric, this might be a place for you to stop by because there was tons of it. The person who lived there either was very crafty or she just loved reading about doing crafty things. I'm not sure which, but there was a lot to choose from. Before I get into the haul, I just have to comment as Indy is sitting on my lap and gazing at me. This is my first video haul without my dog Wilson in the background, and I'm feeling a little guilty about that. If you're a viewer of this channel, you'll know our dog recently passed away, one of our dogs. And whenever I would film, he didn't like it. He was an anxious dog generally, but he would walk around and pace and sometimes knock over my lighting and my tripod, and it would drive me nuts. And now here I am today, a little over a week after we lost him, and I would do anything for him to be panting and knocking over my stuff. Boy, I'll tell ya, I miss him. I want to take just a minute and thank everyone who reached out to me after hearing the news of Wilson's passing and sent me words of comfort and condolence. It was so very kind. I know so many viewers of this channel have pets or have lost pets, and so you know how very hard it is when you say goodbye to one of your fur babies. And it's been not pleasant without him. We'll be okay. But anyway, thank you so much. And on a happier note, can I just tell you, I recently reached 7,000 subscribers, which made me so happy. Eric keeps careful track of these things and he lets me know, oh, only 50 more, 40 more, 30 more. So then he sent me a text because he was in the basement and I was upstairs saying, you did it, 7,000. And this means I get a free dinner, because he always takes me out to dinner to celebrate when I hit one of these milestones. So if you have subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. I cannot tell you how much it means to me to have your support. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you'll consider maybe subscribing sometime soon. Either way, I'm just glad you're here. Okay, now for the haul, which is really a mini haul. And to show you, I'm gonna have to disrupt this very contented cat on my lap, but that's just how it goes sometimes, I guess. So I'm gonna start by showing you a collection of things that I picked up. The owner of this home clearly loved birds, and she had a lot of bird ornaments, mostly from like the Danbury Mint collection. And some of them are winter themed, some of them are not, but I definitely think, you could use them as Christmas ornaments if you wanted to, or you could just use them as seasonal decor if you love birds like I do. So we have a few different to show you, including, oh, don't scratch, Indy. Ooh, their allergies. Their allergies have been rough this season. So I picked up this bird that is so cute, and I should know the name of this bird, but I don't. I'm almost wondering if this is like a female blue jay. And I question that because here is certainly a male blue jay. So maybe, if you know what kind of bird this is, let me know. There's nothing on it that would indicate it to me for sure. I could look it up. My grandmother used to keep lots of bird reference books, so we have them and I could certainly check, but I haven't checked yet. Then there is this really pretty one. This bird does have a label. So as I said, it was Danbury Mint. This is a chestnut-sided warbler. So very cute. Indy likes these little strings, these little hangers way more than he should. So I'm just gonna watch out for him. This pretty bird, now this one doesn't even have like snow or berries or anything that would identify it as winter themed. And then this was not from the same collection. This bird is like a kind of metal, but I thought it was really sweet. So I picked it up. So I thought those were really fun. I also picked up some books, not crafting books, but some interesting books that reflect things that I'm more interested in. Ooh, I can see my ring light there in the picture. That's better. So I picked up this book, The American Heritage History of Making of the Nation. So this is supposed to chart America from 1783 to 1860. That will be fun. And it's in this nice like cardboard sleeve. So that was nice. And then similarly, this one is a history of the 13 colonies. And I love anything, especially about New England history. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of it in this book. I picked up Martha Stewart's Handmade Holiday Crafts. So can even Martha Stewart inspire craftiness from me? I don't know. If anyone can do it, it's Martha Stewart, I'm sure. So I'm gonna leaf through this book and see if I can get some ideas. And speaking of Martha, I picked up her gardening book. This is a month-by-month kind of gardening planner with lots of inspirational photos. And I think those will be awesome, especially because Martha, when she was writing that book, she was living in Connecticut at the time. So I would imagine her month-by-month references will work for me. And then the last one is Outstanding American Gardens, because I would love to have an outstanding American garden. My garden was a bust this year. There was so much crazy hot weather. I didn't keep up with the watering very well. I'm trying to grab this cat. I didn't keep up with the watering very well. And then we had a ton of bunnies and they decimated the place. They are cute, but they are not a gardener's friend. So yeah, not much happened with the garden this year, but there's always next year, right? Okay, I think it's time to check out some of Martha Stewart's handmade holiday crafts. Let's see if this either scares me or inspires me. It's a cute little ship mast. Oh, isn't that pretty? See, I'm looking at the tablescape, not the craft, because that's where my head goes. Glittering table decorations, napkin folding techniques. I think I'd just as soon watch a YouTube video for that. But there are some, these little pumpkin pouch party favors are adorable. Oh my gosh, these bird silhouette windows are hysterical. Oh, I see, there's like lots of really interesting ideas here. Iris is a big fan, that's the main thing. So yeah, lots to learn, lots to see, lots to be inspired by. Let's just check out a few highlights from this book. There's Turkey Hill Farm. This was in Westport. And there's some really great illustrations here. Don't you just love stone walls? They're so New England. Some good kind of like how-tos. Yeah, there's lots of really fun information in this book. I am going to enjoy going through this very much. I thought it would be fun to see some examples of outstanding American gardens. I wonder what they look like. Wow. Well, I guess they had me at balcony, right? Because this is awesome. Wow, I love the flooring on this patio, all the different kinds of stonework. Well, I guess this book didn't lie. These are definitely outstanding gardens. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, I think I picked some really good books. I am pleased with my finds. So for the rest of today, I am going to be bustling around. We're having company over. Eric's sister's family is coming because we're all celebrating Eric's dad's 88th birthday. So we're going to do a little cooking out. We've got lots of things planned. Diane, Eric's sister, is making dessert. I made some bruschetta. Eric's got hot dogs and hamburgers. We've got all the things going on. So it should be a really fun time. And hopefully my father-in-law has a very happy birthday. Here's a picture of my father-in-law's birthday cake after way too many candles were put on it and then the candles lifted off some of the icing. Oh well. And here he is thanking everybody for coming. I think he had a really nice time, and I hope his 88th year is the best one yet. Happy birthday! There are some changes coming to Worthington Home, and I wanted to give you a little bit of an update because for sure you're going to notice them, and I want to include you anyway because I consider all of you to be just part of the family. So here's what's happening. In a nutshell, I've decided to return to the field of education where I had worked for 24 years before I fell and broke my leg and decided to take time off to heal and recover. Well, it turns out that I've missed my sort of school brain. That's what I call it, the part of my brain that knows all of the things pertaining to my field that I need to know. And I was given an opportunity to work in a district that was just too good to refuse. And while I am certainly a little nervous about returning, I'm also excited about the opportunity. I don't want to say too much about it out of respect for my soon-to-be employer, but I will tell you that I decided to step back from administration where I was working before. Even before I injured myself, I was becoming a little burned out of all of the politics. I was working as an administrator. So I actually decided to return to my roots as a school psychologist. And that way I can actually work with students. And I find that so gratifying. And I'm really looking forward to getting started. Not that I want to say goodbye to the summer because that's always hard to do, but it should be an interesting new chapter. And I think it will go well. My fingers are crossed. And so I hope you'll root for me from home. In the meantime, I'm going to continue making videos for Worthington Home. I am going to decrease from 2 videos a week to 1 video a week for at least a while. I know that even though going back into education will be exciting and challenging and interesting, I also know that it will be exhausting, especially because I'm going to be working in a high school setting and I have to report to work at 7 in the morning, and I am not a morning person. I can learn to be, and I've done high school hours before, so I'm sure I'll settle in and it will be just fine. But I will have a little less time to go thrifting and to do my editing. So I think 1 video per week for at least the time being is going to allow me to kind of continue with the best of both worlds. And so I plan to post on Sundays. But be sure to hit the notification bell if you haven't already, because if some opportunities present themselves to have maybe additional videos, maybe shorter length videos, I will do some of those once life calms down and I get into a good routine. So stay posted. The other change is that I decided to give up my booth space at Quality Consignment in Colchester. I have so enjoyed the entire experiment of having a booth. But the truth is, when I started, my plan was to have a space where I could sell larger things that I wasn't wanting to ship on eBay. Things like lamps and large scale artwork and some furniture, that sort of thing. But it turns out what sells best in the booth space are the kinds of small things that I can also sell on eBay. And eBay is kind of a better way for us to go because we can do it from home. So there's no driving. Quality Consignment is about 40 minutes from my home, so not right around the corner. And the other thing is, if I have an item that doesn't sell on eBay, it doesn't cost me anything to keep it there. Whereas in a booth space, there's monthly rent that you have to pay regardless of how your sales have gone. And then of course you have to sell more things to make up for that difference in order to make a profit. So I would say Quality Consignment is a fantastic store and you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. And if you're thinking of getting a booth there, you should totally do it. There's a lot of traffic through that space. But I think that for now, eBay is going to be the way to go for me. And so my booth will be cleaned out at the end of September. And then, yeah, I'll be doing just the eBay thing from there on out. And, you know, of course, it's not always easy to find things to resell. So when I find them, I will put them on eBay. And when I don't find them, we'll just enjoy the adventure of looking, because sometimes that's how these things go. So those are my updates. Lots of changes. I think they're really good. I'm certainly going to appreciate having a lot more money coming in. Eric has been great. He has done all of the financial support of everything while I have been away from my regular job. And I have learned so much, and it was a great opportunity. My leg has healed really well, and I've enjoyed growing my channel. I see my channel having, I hope, a long future ahead because I really enjoy it. And I hope you enjoy watching these videos too. Here's Licorice in the library, just kind of hanging out. It's funny to see her outside of the bedroom because that is where she loves to hang out. But I came downstairs, so she came on down with me. She's just had her lunch, so she's a happy girl. Could that door be any squeakier? Indy let himself into the basement, and now he wants out. Indy, wanna say hi? Whoop. Wanna say hi? here comes little sister.
So that's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't my usual huge haul coming from an estate sale, but sometimes that's just not what happens. Sometimes we get big hauls, sometimes we get little hauls, and sometimes we just enjoy the hunt. So today was a little haul. My next video will be a bigger one, so stay tuned. Anyway, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're having a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.